Hey y'all, hey, it's Naila and this is Gurl, Whatchu Readin. And today I want to talk about my mid-year book freak out because we are halfway through 2025 and the books have been booking. Y'all, some hits, some misses, some why did I even finish this moments. It's time to reflect, spill, and maybe drag a few titles just a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So let's talk about what's been hitting, what's been missing, and what's been sitting on my TBR staring at me like we're in a standoff. Okay, I'm ready for it. So the first part of this bookish tag is the best book I've read in 2025 so far. And I had to go with The Favorites by Lane Fargo. This was my latest 5-star read. So, of course, this is what I went with. This has been my absolute favorite read. It's an intense cinematic novel set in elite figure skating. It follows Katarina Shaw, a driven Olympic caliber skater, and Heath Rocha, her childhood skate partner from foster care. They race their way to the top, only for a shocking incident at the Olympics to freeze their partnership. So, a decade later, Kat is forced to face an unauthorized documentary that's about to rewrite their history, their legacy. So unless she tells her side first, so she decides, she got to tell the story along with a bunch of other figure skaters. It's got passion, rivalry, scandal, and raw ambition. And I read it in 2 sittings because I could not put it down. So that one would definitely be one of my favorites. Number 2, new release I haven't read yet, but really want to. So this one took me a minute to figure out which one I wanted to go with, but obviously Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid is one that I'm really excited and nervous about. So, I'm a fan of Taylor Jenkins Reid, and she's such a hit or miss author for me, but when she hits, and I've been hearing really good things about it. So I can't wait to really get into it. The vibe feels like it's going to be moody, layered, maybe even a little scandalous, and I'm ready for it. It's sitting on my shelf, y'all. So it's sitting on that shelf like, girl, what are you waiting for? So I might have to pick that one up pretty soon here. All right, number 3, my most anticipated release for the second half of 2025. I'm going with A Resistance of Witches by Morgan Ryan. Y'all, I have been waiting for this book because I love stories that center on women's rebellion, and this one has a little witchcraft in there too. So this is about fighting back against the system that was never made for them. The cover looks stunning. The early buzz sounds amazing. And I already know I'm going to be all in. I've been refreshing NetGalley like a clown, hoping for an arc, Maybe I might get one. We'll see. All right, number 4. My biggest disappointment. Okay, here we go. I'm going with Love After Midnight by Sister Souljah. This one did hurt a little bit. I love Sister Souljah's book, Coldest Winter Ever. It was a cultural moment. But ever since then, I don't know. She's kind of falling off for me. This one felt like a shadow of Coldest Winter Ever. It dragged. The characters were flat. The pacing felt like it was working against the story. I kept waiting for it to snap back into place, but it never did. And I hate to say it, but this one just did not do it for me. So I don't know. I'm not as much of a fan of Sister Soldier as I used to be. It's done. All right. All right. Number 5, my biggest surprise so far this year has been Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. This was a slow, quiet heartbreak. The book opens with a tragedy, and the rest of the story peels back all the layers of one family's grief, identity struggles, and unspoken expectations. It's not action-packed, but it's powerful. Celeste Ng writes with so much care. You feel the silence between the characters. I didn't expect to be so emotionally invested, but this one definitely did get me. And it makes me wonder why it took me so long to pick it up. It's been on my TBR, but whatever. I did it this year. Number 6, the last book that made me cry was How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwang. I hope I said the name right. You know, I have that tendency to not. But this book definitely caught me off guard. It's about 2 people with a shared trauma trying to reconnect, and you know, maybe they fall in love, but the story doesn't skip over the hard parts. There's definitely some heavy times, but it's also very tender. And there's this scene, which I'm definitely not going to spoil it, but I had to sit with it. I closed the book and just let the tears fall. And I'm not a big, you guys know better, I'm an emotional reader. So I definitely was boo-hooing on that one. Number 7, the book I hated but finished anyway. If you guys have been paying attention, because it was my last video, but I'm going with Sister Snake by Amanda Lee Cole. I only finished it because of the Chinese folktale part of it. The cultural element of it is the only thing that saved it for me to finish reading, but I was definitely disconnected. The characters were underdeveloped, and it felt like it was trying to be edgy, but it didn't give me anything emotional to connect to. So though I respect the concept, the execution is a hard pass for me. And if you watched the last video, I definitely gave it 3 stars, and that is purely out of grace for it being something cultural. Number 8, a bookish ick that keeps showing up this year has been Sex for No Reason. And I don't mean spice. I mean, I love a well-written, steamy scene, but these random, jarring sex scenes that don't fit the characters, don't move the plot, and just show up. Y'all, I am tired of it, authors. Come on. If the characters have 0 chemistry and the moment is not earned, it just feels awkward. It just feels like you're throwing something in there just to be salacious. And, you know, please respect the characters, respect the plot, respect the story more than that. Please. Number 9 is a book I need to read before the end of the year, and this book has definitely been on my TBR for a while. I'm going with The First Ladies by Marie Benedict, and there's another author, but I don't remember that person's name, but I've been dragging my feet on this one, and I don't even know why. It's about the friendship between Eleanor Roosevelt and Mary McLeod Bethune, which is so up my alley. 2 powerhouse women changing history. You know, I definitely want to read it. I got it from the Book of the Month Club, and it's just been sitting there. I know I'm going to enjoy it. I just need to sit down and actually start reading it. Somebody please hold me accountable. That book definitely needs to be read this year, so let's go with that. And last but not least is, have my reading taste changed this year? That answer shouldn't surprise anybody. Absolutely. I used to try to be generous with authors, especially big name ones with huge fan bases, but this year I'm not doing that anymore. If it's mediocre, it's mediocre. Now, I'm going to still try different genres. I'm still going to give debut authors a chance. But if a book doesn't hook me early, I'm out. I don't have time to be bored. And I'm not sugarcoating my reviews just because someone has a large platform. My time matters too. And my reading taste is just like my musical taste, in which I will read anything if it makes sense. So don't bore me, especially when I'm reading something that isn't even my normal genre. So, all right, y'all, that's my mid-year freak out. If you read any of these, drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you agreed with. What's your, what are you side-eyeing me for? And what's your favorite and most disappointed reads this year so far? And if you've got a book on your shelf that's been haunting you, like The First Ladies has been haunting me, let's make a pact to actually read it. We need to read it before December 31st, guys. Okay? Pinky swear? All right, so go ahead and hit that like button if you're still holding on to your reading goals, if you're still at it. Subscribe if you're here for Bookish Chaos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.